Hey guys, thank you for one sub. Wait, that's not correct at all. Hey guys, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Now this is the part of the video where I thank each and every one of you for being awesome. Now whether you comment on my videos, you're subscribed or not, whether you like or dislike my videos, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for just watching me. Because that means you can tolerate at least 1 second. Well, unless you dislike my videos, in which case you just don't tolerate. Hold on. Is there a word for not tolerating? Because just saying not tolerating me sounds like it sounds like there should be a word for that. I mean, there's what, 600 years of the English, like no, like 1,000 years of the English language, and I'm pretty sure we don't have a word for not tolerating. So someone get on that right now, whether it's at like Webster, never mind, just make a word, somebody, for not tolerating. But even if you do that, then thank you for at least like disliking my video if you don't like it, because that tells me that I could be doing something better for next time. Now, I know why you're all here. You want to see what is my 1,000 sub special, so here it is. I know what you're all thinking. Zombachu, this is a 3x3 lamp door. Why the hell is this your 1,000 sub special? And you know what? You'd be correct, as this is in fact a 3x3 lamp door, and this is my 996 sub special. But there is something pretty special about this lamp door. If we were to take a look at the other side, we will see that there are no redstone blocks, no pistons, nothing showing on either side, meaning that it is 100% seamless on both sides, which is pretty nice. But that isn't the only thing special about this door. If we were to take a look at the opening sequence, we will see that it is exceptionally slow to do its thing. However, if we were to look at the end result, we will see that it is also 100% seamless. So whether you're on either side of the door when it's closed, it is seamless, no pistons, nothing showing. When it's open, it's also seamless, no pistons or nothing showing. Now, however, there is one last thing about this door that makes it pretty darn special, and that is, it is in fact one wide. Alright, so I am super pumped for this door. This thing is 14 tall, 20 long, and that means that it is in fact 280 blocks in volume. Of course, it is also one wide. If you don't believe me still, nothing on that side, nothing on that side. Now, I've been holding off on this door for a long time, ever since the end of summer. I made this thing close to the end of my summer vacation. I remember being super pumped going into school. So that's like 8 or 9 months ago I made this door, and I've been holding it off until now because I knew it would be one of the most complicated things I would ever do, and everything in my life was building up to this moment. So if you go ahead and say mean things about this door, I will die a little bit on the inside very slowly. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of the opening and closing action without all the walls and stuff. So there you go. That's the opening. Everything was happening at once. And then this is the closing. Don't worry, I'll explain how stuff works later. And that's the closing right there. Now I'm just going to go jump straight into the tutorial and cue awesome transition. Whoosh. Alright, so here is our input block. I'm going to smack a lever on that and the torch as well. And then that torch just goes into dust, and a repeater. I'm going to turn this off right now so it doesn't screw with any piston things we're doing over here. And right now I am making a door frame. And if you have ever seen a door frame in Minecraft before, you will know it looks like a donut. So if we come up here, I will finish off the piston layout. Well, not really, considering there's a whole lot more than this to do than just up here. But you know what I mean. Normal pistons there, and then on this side you're going to need sticky pistons, more sticky pistons, and even more sticky pistons down here. So there we go, and this double extender is just basically the same thing as in the 3x3 door circuit, except it also contains a triple extender to make everything nice and seamless. And if you notice, I'm not actually placing a lamp or minecart right now, and that's because we're going to have to fix that later anyway, so I'd rather not place it right now, because that'll just make things a whole lot harder for me to do in my inventory and stuff. So to do the redstone, you're just going to do what I'm doing right now. From that dust, you're going to want to get a whole bunch of repeaters, getting power from that dust. So a repeater on 3 going into a block, into another repeater on 3, going into a block, going into a repeater on 4. Don't let that one on 4 screw you up. And then over here, you're going to want to have a repeater on 1, going into a block, going into a dust, going into a sticky piston, which goes into that, and then this, and that. Very descriptive words, I know. And then over here, you will notice that this is basically a 3x3 door circuit, which is in fact what we have just built. Now up here, you're going to want to have a block there, and then a normal piston and sand. And I've said enough things about sand in the previous episode, so if you want me to rant about me using sand, then just go there. But if not, just place 4 sand, and then furnace there, have anything in that furnace get comparator output like that. That just goes into sticky piston. Oh, no, that doesn't. There we go. And then that just goes into dust, going into a repeater, going into a block, going into dust, and that just powers our double extender over here, which pushes the minecart out into the center, which is nice. So there we go. And then on this side, you're also going to want to have an item in that furnace as well, because we're getting another comparator output from there. That goes into a torch, that goes into a block, that goes into a repeater, which goes into this thing over here. And if you notice, these pistons are actually pushing into the same block, but that shouldn't be an issue unless you like spam the door or something, because it's timed so after one does its thing, the other one will do its thing, so they'll never actually touch each other. So next we're just going to want to have hopper dropper monostable here, just like that, and this just powers another hopper dropper monostable over here. So there we go. Hopper dropper monostables everywhere. Is Deco satisfied? I think he might be. So another comparator output like that. And then here, you're just going to need to switch through your inventory a lot for this, guys. I'm sorry. This thing basically uses every single redstone resource except for daylight sensors. Actually, I could put a daylight sensor in here somewhere. I don't know where, but I'll do it just to say I used everything in redstone. But anyways, as you see here, we have a double extender here. However, we also have a problem. If we were to have a dust there, then it would do that as well, and it would just make minecarts fly everywhere. So what I'm going to do is what I'm going to call the no touchy extender. And basically, as you see, when this thing extends, hold on. Yeah, when this thing extends like that, and then like that, this will actually be butted by the dust that's going to be on there. And then I'm just going to undo that and Command Z that. And then if we come over here, I will show you how to make the no touchy extender, and you guys can find your own way to make no touchy extenders or whatever. It'd actually be cool if here's a challenge for anyone who wants a challenge. I'm not even going to call this a no touchy extender anymore. This is a no touchy extender. Here's the challenge. You make a double extender like that. Then you have lamps like everywhere on the wall, and then you make this double extender without powering the lamps. And the way I would imagine you do that is have like a block swapper with a redstone block or something like that. You kids have fun with that. So yeah, but this is like half of a no touchy extender. And I just spent the last 2 minutes talking about touching things, didn't I? Anyways, you're going to want to have 2 repeaters like that. And then I'm going to grab a comparator again. Now, the reason why I have a comparator here instead of a repeater is that, I'm going to be honest here, this thing does have issues with coordinate sensitivity and directionality, unless you put that comparator there. And that comparator just does magical things to signals where it slightly delays it, except not really. So it still sends the same length of pulse and stuff, but it just treats it like it activated later than a repeater. I guess the way Minecraft prioritizes things or whatever. So you're going to want to have a dust there, a dust there. That dust is getting its output from that thing over there. And then we're going to need a repeater on 4 and a slab. Replace this comparator block with a slab there. I forgot to do that earlier. That just goes into a block there, going into a repeater on 4 and another repeater on 4. Make sure that's also a half slab, otherwise you're going to bud that, and that will not be good, because that'll just essentially be the same thing as just having a dust there. And we all know what happens when that happens. Minecarts fly everywhere. And then over here, I'm going to show you another cool trick. Here we go. So sticky piston holding a redstone block, and then if we come up here, we just have a regular piston, and this will create a T flip-flop actually. So if I flippity-flop the flip-flop over here, I can show you what's happening. As you see, this thing retracted, and then if I were to turn this on again, then magical things happen, and that spits out. And you might be asking yourself, wait, what? There's no one-tick pulses anywhere in this section. And you would be right. So what happens is this hopper dropper monostable is sending out some like 3 point whatever tick pulse. It's not 4 ticks, it's not 3 ticks, it's somewhere in between. I've said that in an earlier video. I'm not sure what video it was, but I've said it earlier. Now, this piston is just like, wait, what 3 point whatever pulse. I'm just going to round it to 3, and then because sticky pistons do what sticky pistons do, or just normal pistons actually, any one of them, they take 1 tick to extend or whatever, 1.5 ticks, something like that. I'm not piston timing expert. That's like redstone sheep or whatever. But they take whatever time to extend, and then they instantly retract. So they don't actually do the whole 3 tick pulse. They do, if I send a 3 tick pulse to it, it'll do a 2 tick pulse. And then so this turns 3.5 tick pulse into 2 tick pulse over here in this dust, and then I'm doing the same thing over here, except this piston over here is taking the 2 tick pulse, updating this bottom piston 1 tick later, so it only gets a 1 tick pulse, and that's why it only does its flippity flop thing instead of just pulsing. So to finish this off over here, I'm just going to have a repeater on 3, another repeater on 3, going into a block, going into a repeater on 4, going into dust, and that just powers these 3 over here. Now to do this double extender at the bottom, we're going to want to grab ourselves a quartz slab, going into a sticky piston, going into a redstone block, what a surprise, and then hopper dropper monostable, because we didn't have enough of those already. So hopper dropper monostable here, and then block, then comparator output, and actually that needs to be a strong signal. So here, let me just grab a hole, and then stick my hole right there, and then that just goes into 2 dust like that. That powers our things like that. That just does its double extendy thingy. Down here we're going to want to have a repeater on 4. And then over here, we're going to need to grab another dropper hopper, like that. What a surprise. And then comparator output right there. Then that just goes into a repeater on 3, going into a sticky piston holding a cauldron. So there's my cauldron. Sticky piston, cauldron, water in the cauldron, toss water away, then comparator, and hey, who wants to guess what the comparator is going into? If you guessed hopper dropper monostable, you're right. So there we go, another hopper dropper monostable. I told you, Deco, you really should just watch this video if you want to see hopper dropper monostables. Anyways, repeater on top of that, and I've already told you guys how this works in my pop out crafting table video thing. This comparator actually powers that hopper dropper, which is pretty coolio. And then basically we have done this entire section over here. Now to finish everything off, basically what this does is it grabs that middle block. So here, let me just emulate what happens if we were to do this. As you see, it grabs the middle block, and then it retracts, and then that actually does its extending thing. Did I forget to put an item in there? I think I did. But that's a good thing, so we have to fix less from my demonstration. So block of quartz in there or whatever. And then, as you saw, that grabbed the middle thing, however, it just left it hanging there. So we're going to need to send another pulse throughout this thing to grab that as well. But first we need to have, hey, more hopper dropper monostables. And I think this is actually the last one. So what is that? A total of like 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is like 6. So have a repeater on 2 there, going into hopper dropper monostable. What a surprise! Hopper dropper monostable there. Need to put an item in there, and then this first pulse will grab its thing here. So what happened is after it opens, this is how it is left. So this first pulse that this hopper dropper monostable does will go through here. It'll actually go into that block. This sticky piston will retract. This one will do some needless pulse thing, and then this extender here will do its extendy thing. grab that middle block, pull it down into there. So we need one more pulse going into that thing, and that is what this entire circuit up here is meant for. So we're going to need a repeater on 4 there, another sticky piston here, going into a block, and then how are we going to actually repower this dropper? Well, it's not we're going to repower it, we're just going to cut off the power to it momentarily and then bring it back. So there's a sticky piston there, that'll just retract it and then extend it again. Torch there, so you don't need to use a redstone block, and this needs to be a half slab. So half slab, there we go. Keeping it uniform with all the other half slabs, and then the repeater no ticks of delay, that just goes into a dust going into a torch, and we are done. So if I were to replace that there with my lamp like that, and then I can actually replace my detector rail, this block with the detector rail rather. I'm getting things mixed up today. This is like my 18th recording or whatever. And then this, okay, I'm gonna explain something for a second. You guys might be wondering why this activated too soon, and that's because that was on 3 instead of 4. So let me fix that, and then let me fix this. There we go. And this actually demonstrates why this is on an insane amount of delay over here. If we do this too soon, this lamp will actually bud, and we don't want that to happen. So I use these pistons over here on an insane amount of delay to actually bud that. So here, let me just simulate, hold on, let me just simulate this thing doing its thing. So when it extends, it'll bud that piston, bud the redstone lamp, so it'll turn on. Otherwise, it'll just have a redstone lamp off in the center of a door, and that'll just be completely, utterly useless. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Something a bit different and large and stupidly complicated for you today. If you guys want an explanation of anything further, just ask me in the comments below. I will be providing a link in the description to a download of this and also of all the music in this video. And until next video, goodbye.